Let's Talk Money with Friends. Every single Wednesday, we get the privilege, I would say, to come to you and to share some really relevant and timely information about money, life. We say, let's talk money, but we talk about more than money. Why? Because money encompasses everything. So if you're going to be talking about money, you got to talk about everything. So tonight, I'm elated. Why? Because it's been nearly a year. Next week, it's going to be a year, and we started a very new season, I would say. But for the last year, since the beginning of last November of last year, we started the show because we had a goal, we had a dream, and with the dream, we decided that we're gonna create a plan, and with that plan, we put some action behind it, and today we are here. We've made so many progress. I would say we've had so many great friends on the show. We've had so many great discussions. I was looking at a list of shows that we've had, topics we've had discussed on the show since the beginning of last year, since the beginning of this year, and started from last November. We said created a plan. You know, you cannot get anywhere without a plan. We talked about multiple streams of income. Foundation matters. Education matters. We encouraged everyone to go get an education, whether it is going back to school or getting information that you don't have yet. Health. Oh my gosh, so many people needed to hear that, to focus on your health, mind, body, and soul. And also, we talked about estate planning. So many of us are in situations where we do need to think about what's going to happen with our lives, with our finances, with our estate when we're no longer here. Legacy, because you want to leave a great legacy and you need to do it now. We talked about credit. Credit matters. Shine bright. We want you to shine, because what good it is to have all this and still not be confident in who you are. So we talked about confidence, why confidence matter, and also too how matters, and also the difference between confidence and arrogance. Teachers, one of my favorite shows actually was about teachers. So we can go on and on and on and on. Tonight I have guests with me because they wanted to come here, friends, I should say, they wanted to come here to celebrate and to encourage us to do more. And we are gonna be doing so much more. So therefore, tonight, we wanna give them an opportunity to talk about some of their favorite shows. And if they have one, I know a couple of you said you have favorite shows. Like I said, teachers are my favorite people on earth. So that show was very important to me. And also to, discuss where we're going from here, because again, we're doing this self-assessment or this assessment of the show and this review of the year so that we can see, oh, this is where we came from, how far we've come, and then to talk about where we're going. So without further ado, I would like to give you all an opportunity to introduce yourself. Again, we have actually a new guest here, a new friend, Melissa Charles. I'll give her an opportunity to do it, and then we'll go to the lady, and then the guys will introduce themselves. And again, thank you, Curtis, for joining us. Go ahead, Melissa.
Hello, everyone. I'm Melissa Charles. My company is the SIA Agency. I've been in marketing for about 10 plus years right now. I specialize in social media marketing and also to give advice on what types of things that you can do to drive traffic to your site, capture and generate more revenue, whether it's an e-commerce website or if you have a restaurant, any type of business that you have, making sure that you can position yourself well to receive the revenue that you're looking for. One of the things that the episodes that I liked was the legacy. And that's something that I took an interest in this year. This year I got life insurance. This year I made sure to get my mother life insurance. And so that's an important thing. And I highly recommend it if it's something that you haven't done yet. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you, Melissa. And we'll go to Saskia. You've been here before. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Saskia Michelle, and I'm owner of Saskia Michelle Consulting. So I am a financial coach. I work with people, families to win with their money habits. And also I started offering bookkeeping service and helping small starter businesses, how to look after their costs, their expenses. Most of the time we are happy to make that sales, but we forget about all the expenses that come along. So I'm here to help them having more profits, and that would be a great night to discuss what matters.
Yes, definitely. And so we'll go with Curtis. Curtis, please introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. I love the packed house and all the smiling faces.
I
My name is
know.
Curtis Chambers with CLC Consulting. I too am a financial coach, have been in the field for the better part of a decade, and just love working with families. After getting my degree in psychology and human services, just realized what was going on in the households, and I could see the link between their financial situation and their mental health and the physical health. And so just realizing that there are some real serious ties and implications. So it was a no-brainer for me, and I'm glad to be here as always.
Yes, I'm glad you're here. And of course, last but not least, our friend here, Frederick. Please give us a quick introduction.
Sure. My name is Mr. Frederick, Frederick Capital and subsidiaries. And so I have my umbrella of companies, but my true focus of businesses has been investing and, been a lot of things doing in marketing as well as cryptocurrency and investment space. I think for me, recent guests, you could say, and having multiple streams of income as a topic, because that has been my agenda for a number of years and been focused, especially this year with all these advances and change in the economy and where we're going in the next few years, that putting things in position to have multiple streams of income and teaching financial literacy to entrepreneurship, development, education.
Yeah. Thank you for all the work that you do. You're making a difference. I decided to do the show because I wanted to make a difference, but I didn't want to make it by myself. I wanted to make it with people who are looking to make a difference. And that's why every single week I take the time to reach out via email, via WhatsApp and Messenger to ask the folks that I know are already making a difference to come and join us and join this platform. And so it's been a year, as I said, we've been doing it. We've been having such great friends, and I'm so grateful. We wouldn't have been able to do this without them. So with that being said, I know Melissa just mentioned her favorite show. Can you share what has been your favorite show so far, and how how has that changed you or your business, or could like what you see, how it should have changed the families who are watching? Can we go with you, Saskia?
I guess you are referring to Melissa. I love all the shows actually, but I guess I have to pick between Family Matters and Know Your Worth.
Yes.
I know Family Matters was a really a big topic. Having, are you putting your spouse before your kids? That was a big one. But I will say, based on my experience and my journey here on the work experience field, know your worth. It's really important for me. It shows me not only my experience that I have before moving here in the US, but also adjusting my new life here, and also putting more education, because if I want to help people, not only what I know, but also I need to learn. I need to meet, to network with other people who have been doing well and learn from their experience. So I will say know your worth, and then I will get for Family Matters.
Family matters. Yes, family matters. Without family, it's foundational. We talked about the foundation matters. What about you, Frederick? I know you're a new friend. What would be, if you could think? Go ahead.
I think I agree with her. There's a lot of cool topics that's passionate to me as well. But keep coming back to the investing in matters, financial literacy, because the game of money has changed tremendously in the last few years. And like I said, your past showed that the doors have been open to us, aside from the internet since Y2K. But there's so many opportunities today when it comes to the investment, which is what I'm heavily focused on, and also the new shift of money. As someone like Chris, we've been talking a lot about that, and just our people need to become more financially aware and what's happening with money, to the digital side of money that we're moving towards, and the fear of currency that we're so used to. But most importantly, Life, again, I've studied, just like Chris and I have studied, the best of the best, business folks in the industry of money. And you have to have multiple streams of income. We've been brainwashed for so long to believe that a job, just overbooked, 9-to-5 paycheck only to survive. And not to mention alone, if you're going to do that and being brainwashed into the single family lifestyle or not having the 2 household income at least coming into you. And so when I see and been studying what wealthy people have been doing, like, oh my God, after I spent 5 years studying marketing, for example, I was like, I've learned, I just bombarded with education. And I said, 90% of the stuff I've been learning to taught to believe since I was, and again, I'm in my mid-40s now, it has been a bunch of BS. Because what the wealthy are doing is far different what the average person, W2 wage earner has been taught to do. And part of my biggest hurdle, and I could say probably for most of you, is shift the mindset of average individuals, because you come for one thing, but what you need is to uneducate yourself from what you were taught to believe and say, yes, this is not how you do it. This is how entrepreneurs do it. This is how the wealthy do it. It's 2 different mindsets.
Correct. We did a show called, actually, at the very beginning of this program here called Entrepreneurship Matters, because we knew not only multiple streams of income, but you got to find your own way. What would be your favorite, what would you say would be your favorite program or show, Curtis?
I would say it would be multiple streams of income. It's a combination, having that entrepreneurialism, because it allows you to tap into what you're passionate about. You can make a lot of money doing many things. Some of them may be more noteworthy and noble than others. So it isn't just the making of the money, but living your best life. And so, workshops that I've done have been around the Japanese phrase ikigai, and so that is basically loosely translated to find, like, what is your passion point, and finding something that you're good at, as well as that can help people, as well as it will be something that'll pay you, and so if you can have that, all those things, that nexus where they all come together, and you can make some great income there. But you definitely have to have something that the sister Melissa talked about, life insurance. Well, you have to have income insurance because of the things that are going on today. They just dropped the new information on the 6.2% increase in terms of inflation. And without getting too deep in the weeds, just knowing that the very lowest thing on the things that they itemized on that list was about maybe a dozen. The lowest one that went up was shelter. So where you live, 3.5%. And I know that's more than most people's raise over the last year. So that means you're still underneath water. I won't even get into the highest one, which is gasoline at 49% increase, or utilities, used cars, eggs, fish, milk, cheese. So, if you're not keeping up with the rate of inflation, then it's all for naught. And it's to Dimitri's point that question everything that you've been taught. Like, oh, we got to save. Save for what? I don't need to save. They're printing money every day. I know I can pick money up. So I don't need to save money. I need to make more money. I need to have something that retains the value. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. This show is meant to help families and those who are watching, those who've taken the time to watch, get them to understand that it's more than just dollar and cents. You got to understand comprehensively what's going on in the market. And also, if you don't have the knowledge to tap into resources that are around you. I know for me, I'm big on tapping into resources that are around me. Melissa, Charles, I was talking to her one time, we were driving, and I was like, Melissa, I'm doing this show. She's like, really? She's from out of state. She's like, really? I'm like, let me send you a copy, and then please let me know what you think, and also how you could help me, because I know you have the brain. She's very smart. And so coaching matters, getting help from those people who are here. We have Saskia, who's a coach. We have Curtis, who's a coach, and we have Frederick. I need coaching from Melissa. So Melissa, can you explain again? I know you briefly introduced yourself. How, this show, we do it because we want to help, but we want to improve the show, because we feel like we've been doing the same thing, because insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results, right? So how do you think you can help us improve this and make this platform a much better success, not only for us, but also for those who are watching?
Oh, that's a good question. Just taking a look at the topics that you're offering and making it more so an open forum. The biggest thing is, who are you reaching and how are you reaching out to them to let them know that you are giving this live information. Information is key and it's not always free. So having that availability right there, and most people are on their phones. That's another thing. So thinking about the touch point, people are not sitting at home on a laptop, they're mostly on their phone or on a tablet. So how are you reaching that audience and broadening your audience? Are you making sure that people are sharing? Are you looking at the algorithm of your views in terms of by topic? Another thing to think about is looking at the demographics of people that are watching and then tapping into that more. Where are they located? How is their engagement? So some of those things are key factors in how you can either do the topics that you decide to share next for your planning. How do you plan on reaching out? Maybe ad spend on that area if that's something that you want to do to promote your show and what you're doing. And then thinking outside of the box, how else can we even maybe make it more personal, maybe creating a network around that. So that's creating a more personal touch to this show that you're adding right now.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to creating a plan. Again, going back to the plan, create a plan and putting some action behind it. Because at the end of the day, we can talk all we want, just like we've been saying since day one. We've been asking the viewers to create a plan so that you can get to the next level. We were talking about a trip that I took. I was going to New York, actually to Philadelphia, to go see a family member who was getting married, right? And instead of heading to Philadelphia, I ended up in Delaware. Why? Because I was guided by the one person and I ended up going the one way. So you don't want to be guided by the one person. You want to be guided by a show like this. I can help you think about different topics. But if you find the topic here, whether it's investing or legacy or insurance, and you don't know, what do? You call someone. So, Saskia, you're a coach. Can you tell people exactly how you work with families for those who are thinking, I want to do something? How can you help this show and the viewers get to the next level?
One of the things is listening to you guys is what is interesting in the show. It's because every week you are bringing new guests, even though some of them have been coming, often, but the topic is different and the knowledge, the experience really help people to understand. I might not, for example, someone might say something and I really don't agree with, but I have to listen and know what is it, know more about his point of view. At the end, it might be, it might be right, but it's really great to listen to people and to understand what was their experience and what they want to tell you. So working with family, I would say each situation is different. So most of the time when you hear or people hear about financial coach, they think it's, oh, because I'm broke, or you talk about budget. Oh, I'm broke. I don't want to really have in that situation. Or maybe something is scary, something like a financial struggle happening to their family. But at the end, it's not how much money you earn. It's how much money you keep, because you might earn like 20. I always like this example. You earn 20, someone earns $20,000, another person, some other person 200,000. But it's what you're doing, because every time, and you see that every time we get a raise, our lifestyle increased too. So we don't keep the same lifestyle, the same standard we keep. So I will say every family is different. Some family maybe have children, some are empty nesters. So we work based on your situation and your goals, whether it's not really, it's maybe a budget. I would say the base is the budget, because you need to know how much money you have and what is your other financial goal, whether it's college funding for your kids, retirement plan, your dream vacation, your dream family home. So it's all about.
It's all about that. And we want families to tap into the resources that we have here. Curtis, I know you've been coming and you've been telling folks, there are ways for you to elevate yourself financially. How do you work with families specifically, independently?
For some reason, it didn't go off mute. I start with the end in mind. What is your overall goal? And so you're going to hear some redundancy, obviously, with us doing similar work. I want to know where is it that you're trying to get to? Because if someone says, I'm trying to lose 50 pounds, and these are the things that we're going to do today, the small wins, and I want them to celebrate those wins. So it starts off, that's why I said my studies were psychology and human services. So the psychological piece is I need to know, well, Gabrielle, are you the type that likes to, hang in there for the small wins, or is it more important to get rid of this massive piece right here? So if someone has a debt and they got like a Macy's bill or Macy's or, and they're only $80 or $100, that dopamine rush of being able to eliminate those small things, that might be something that keeps someone in the game. Whereas someone might say, well, I want to save the most money. Well, then let's attack this one that's a $5,000 debt, because that one's going to save you the most money in the long run, but you may not notice the win today. And I can't make my dream or vision yours, because if you're attacking that $5,000 debt and you don't get it quick enough, you might fall off the wagon, so to speak, because you don't see the progress. So if that's, when I'm talking to you, it's not going into the X's and O's. We can get to that. I can show you how to make money. I can show you how to eliminate debt or what have you. I need to get to know what's going on here first, because if the mindset doesn't shift, or if we're not seeing eye to eye, then the work's not going to get done. So once I can figure that piece out, then I can say, oh yeah, sorry for the dog. It seems like you're the type that likes to have the little minor wins. And so I will do whatever is necessary to help you get those little wins first, so that you can get that attaboy, like I said, that dopamine rush. Same pleasure sensor that you get when you go to a casino or you win something. That same point that, it's just human nature.
Yeah, human nature. And we're looking forward to seeing that all of our audience members, we want them to win. That's why we do the show. That's why we make the commitment. This is not easy work. A lot of planning goes into this. And also to, I remember weeks ago, we had someone on the show, Anna, and she said, everything is hard. So if you sit in here, and I always look at, because I have my plan waiting here, and you're not able to check off because you have not done the work, because you think it's too hard, everything in life is hard. You get to choose your hard. So that's why we have all the experts, call them experts, because they do well at what they do. They're passionate about it. We were talking earlier, Frederick, you said that, you have a lot of passion for what you do, because you know that what you do, if people come in and get the coaching that you're offering, their lives will change. Can you explain more? Can you share more about that?
Sure. I've been in the technology field for over 30 years in small business as well. And I'm someone that works really great with small business person, because especially, building business credit is one of the things I've learned for myself. Everything I've learned is self-taught, to learn to do it and establish. And I think what's unique, and from we were talking about that earlier, about the different, people that's out there that offers that, we care enough and to know the ins and outs. Like criticism that was very powerful to me, because I could think of them, Dave Ramsey, who is well famous and everybody's talking about, but he said the key thing about, knowing where you are, because, until I got financial literate myself, for example, hearing that, hey, maybe the highest bill that you think you have is not the smartest, because there is that excitement of, what's the word, the endorphins that we have in ourselves that we want to achieve accomplishments. And so when I look at a small business person, it's like, what is it just like that you want to accomplish, and the multiple streams of income that you want to generate for yourself? And also, how do you embrace new technology? Because I'm very focused, and like I teach people, like 21st century style, because technology is what's going to push us forward and faster to break the habits. Versus, and I say that because I was, as much as I'm in technology, sometimes we were fearful of embracing change. And I struggled with that when I was younger myself. And so right now, this is the biggest change of our times. And I said, I wrote an expert economics course, and I'm talking about 100 years. And, we're in the first quarter. That's about to wrap up by 2025. And, elections coming up, and there's a lot of shifting that's already taking place in our political arenas. We won't get into that. But we need to position ourselves, create clarity, as someone was talking about, so that when the first quarter ends, that shift, you're going to see the rapid phase of technology so fast. And so today I'm in pre-IPO investments. And again, I'm playing it smart instead of being a consumer. Like right now, people are chasing the big coins, this and that, or the next meme coin out there, whereas as well, I'm looking at the investment, long-term investment. And that comes to where someone has to have a passion to understand this is not a get rich quick scheme. So you can invest for the future. And if you, like you said in your show, it's about building legacy. I think all of us can say that we agree in a legacy because it's not about us. And we fail to sometimes just living for ourselves today. And that's the problem with us.
Yeah. Did you want to say something, Melissa?
Yes, I'm in agreement with all of that. And just like a short message to that, coming here, my parents being the first generation here, going to school, kind of doing that whole process yourself, not knowing. Your parents only tell you to save. They tell you to save. They don't say why. They don't know how to explain that to you. So it wasn't until after college that you understand, like, oh, okay, well, I need credit to get a credit card to do other things. But one thing I know for sure that they have still silently engraved seeds that are important. And legacy is important so that your kids or that the generations after you don't have to suffer or go through certain experiences. So thinking even beyond that, I purchased a home 2 years ago that had an income apartment, and that helped me through being laid off last year. And I was able to start my own business, the agency, help other small business owners during that time, helping them to stay afloat during the pandemic. And a lot of people who had e-commerce businesses online thrived during the pandemic more than they ever thought that they would, making more than they saw in their regular salaries that they were laid off from. So shifting that mindset to the passion, people are selling pickles, starting to sell food out of their house, or whatever it is that they're creative or that they have that passion about is important. But not only that, giving you the freedom of peace. There's something about that even if the world is going crazy, economy's high, low, but because you're living within your means, you have set up some things in line that you can even be comfortable through the storm, even though it does, if your roof needs to be changed. But you know what? I have an investment that can take care of that. I don't have to take a loan during maybe a high interest rate period to cover the roof of the house. So those are some of the things that I've learned, and I finally put some legacy stuff in place with Gabrielle's help. And so that's very important to think about in general, not even for yourself, but people after you, so that you can live a peaceful life no matter what happens.
Yes, I like peace of mind. And you know what? We are very passionate about what we do. We do it. We would have done this if, it wasn't a stream of income, but because we are very passionate about living that legacy, because, as a community, black and brown people, typically legacies, we don't think about the next generation because we are so busy fighting for this generation. And that's why we did a show called Civic Engagement Matters. Please get involved in your community, because you could build that house, buy that house, start that business. But if you don't know your legal rights in your community, if you're not engaged in your community, all of a sudden you could lose everything. So this show is comprehensive. We wanted to cover everything because we didn't want to not have you understand comprehensively why, as a person, that you should have everything that you have as a goal. But in order for you to achieve those goals, you have to get engaged. You have to get involved, and you have to learn. Education matters. This here is very educational. We take the time, and the guests who are here, the friends who are here, giving their hours and the time to talk to me over the telephone and to be here live. We are encouraging you who are part of the community to like, share, and make a comment. Don't, like, share, and make a comment. Let other people who are looking for information like this, let them know that it's available to them. Because again, like Melissa said earlier, so many of us are first generation or newcomers to the country. Many of us don't have, and even those who've been here generations ago, they still don't have all the resources that they need, because they don't have it readily available in a format like this to learn from folks who are passionate like you all here. So with that being said, I just want to thank you all for being here. Thank you all for just like saying yes, being my friends, being my supportive friends, because this here cannot be done. And I'm saying the same thing. Your life, your financial foundation, and you building on your life will never be done by you doing it on your own. You need the support of experts. You need the support of friends who can help you. And we are encouraging you to call every single one of them here, reach out to them, and ask them for help, because they can help you. Any last word from any one of you? Because we always say we like to keep the show short. because we want to make sure that folks who are watching take the time to watch it completely and go ahead and do what they need to do. Because what good it is to get the knowledge and not put it into action.
So true.
Anybody else would like to say one last thing before we say goodbye?
I have to take my hats
Oh.
off to you because you're changing the game. That's a legacy. What you're doing here is not to be understated, and I would be remiss if I didn't take my figurative hat off to you and what you're doing. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Curtis. I appreciate you. And you, Saskia?
Yes, I would like to thank you also for the invite and also all the great knowledge that we are having. But one thing, as we are talking about the year review, I would say it's not only it's on two sides. Personally, since last year and now, did you grow? How did you grow? You know, what new things did you learn for yourself, or how do you care about yourself? And for those of you who are in business, you know, how your business have been growing, or maybe, you know, did you have less customers, more customers? So what is the improvement that you can do? So I think, you know, in both sides, we need to take a, you know, step back, have a step back and, you know, identify what are our strengths and our weaknesses and move forward. So
Correct. A great assessment. We all need to
Yeah.
make that assessment. The year is almost over too, right? You have to assess
Exactly.
and get ready for 2022. Because again, if you don't have a plan, you don't get it done. And 12 months, a year went by so quickly. I kid you not. And Frederick,
Sure. Thank you again for inviting me. You know, it's a pleasure to get to be reacquainted with friends and new ones as well. You know, the year is going by fast, and you know, I start counting down the year by the time June and July comes. You know, and because after that it just goes down, especially, you know, Thanksgiving, actually Halloween we're done, and you could see, not even me saying it, but look at the TV right now. They already celebrate Christmas, just to capitalize on every day. And so for your life and as well as your finances, and you know, what is going to change for next year, you know, because like Curtis said, you know, things are getting tight and squeezed, you know. You could sit there and look at the politics of things and what your president is going to do for you, but you ask what you're going to do for yourself and your family, for your future. Because as I told someone in a private conversation a couple of days ago, you know, the 21st century, as someone who's into technology, is all about self-independence. And you have to seek it for yourself. And that's why this is the platform to seek knowledge and information, just like we all have our own individual platform and services that we offer. Because the education, schools, every other system that has so-called worked for the last 50 plus years, 100 years, is not working for us as a people. And we need to change that and make it work for ourselves by depending on ourselves, our community, like she says, to make things happen. God bless, and I'll see you in 2022.
2022, because let me tell you, if you had taken the time last year or this year to listen and watch and share the show, you would have had your health better off. Because we have this lady who comes on all the time. She couldn't come on this tonight. Perpetuity. She talks about your health. Your health is your wealth. We talk about finance.
Dawn
We talk
too.
about personal life. We talk about everything.
Virtually with
Everything.
Dawn. Got to give him a shout out to Dawn, Queen Dawn.
Yeah, Dawn. Oh yes, Dawn Spirit. Yes, definitely. So many great people. Let me see. Should we name names?
Don't do it. You're gonna forget somebody and you're gonna be mad. Don't even try.
Yep. It's so
I
true.
cannot remember. But we talked about everything. And the reason why is because we want you to have everything you need to get to the next level, to get to your next level. So it's up to you.
Well,
the rest is up to you. So we're asking you to think about it. Reach out if you need
stay
help.
tuned. Me and Dimitri are gonna have a master class coming soon, so be ready.
Yes. I want to be part of that. And I'm looking forward to working with Melissa. Next season, Melissa, do you want to give them a little bit of what we're going to be doing quickly?
Yes, we'll give you a little sneak peek. So I helped to design my mother's home. She did a renovation, I sourced all the materials myself, worked with the contractors, like came and nitpicked. I'm very particular about that, but I've always had an eye for design stuff, just a passion of mine. And so we'll be combining that with somewhat of the foundations of your life in terms of finances, how to plan, but also thinking about it from also the design planning. How do you plan a redesign of your home? What's your budget? What do you want the outcome to be? How do you want to live? So thinking about it from a holistic point of view. So we'll be combining that, and that's coming in 2022. And Thank you, Gabrielle, for inviting me to this platform. I am very excited to see what we do next year. Really appreciative. And just thinking about for anyone who is on the fence about starting their own business, do it. Even if you don't know, there's plenty of YouTube University, there's stuff online. Even if English is not your first language, it doesn't matter. You can figure it out. Use students, resources, your children or nieces, nephews, anyone that you know to help you piece all the puzzles together. And don't be afraid to fail. That's probably the number one thing. I might not be successful. Don't be afraid to fail. That had hindered me for a little while, but now you just know that I've tried it, I failed, but I learned something new. And just do that. And thank you so much for Gabrielle for creating this platform. It's changing people's lives for the better. And I appreciate your invite.
Thank you. Life is about investing in yourself and trying. If you fail, it's okay. We'll start over again. Thank you so much again.
This hour long. This last one should have been an hour long. I'm afraid.
Okay, so we can stay on if you want. Okay, what do you want to talk about? Because I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to all of you because sometimes I tell you now you're gonna want me to start talking like from a point of view where it's like not scripted because I can.
It's real talk.
When I started the show, I was sitting here because, like I said to folks, I've always been passionate about giving back. So years ago, someone had asked me recently, "How long have you been doing this?" I started in 2006, local television station here in Boston, talking about the show was Power Finance, Financial Talk, and I would talk to families about insurance and retirement planning and investing. And, taking care of yourself, holistically, like your health is your wealth and all that stuff. And then, of course, I left that and started doing it at home. So I always had like a monthly gathering where I would cook and we'll eat together and have a conversation. So that's why I cannot wait when the time is right to have like a little party, right, Melissa, to celebrate, to really have a great celebration. But the truth of the matter is, I was sitting here and I thought, what do I have in my hands? And I love the fact that Melissa said, do not wait to start a business. Whatever, I posted it earlier today. The year will go by so quickly. What do you have in your hands? And get going. The time is now. You get started. So, would you all agree? I don't want to monopolize this time here. Is it all about what you have in your hands?
It's true because I could personally know that because I know I'm very analytical, like many of us are, and even someone recently on TikTok was saying, right now content TikTok, for example, is surpassing even YouTube that people so love so much, but it's pushing your content faster, and it's just like record, just start recording. Kind of like for me, like you said yourself, Gabrielle, like we are a one-man show sometimes, a woman show in our cases sometimes, and therefore. What do you start to say? And one of the most powerful words, I have a video that, a lot of content I haven't released yet, is just like, you have to know how to outsource. One of the philosophies I learned, once you begin to learn to free yourself, now free yourself could mean a lot of things to different people, but in the sense of business, when you learn to start dictating, delegating, to somebody else, there's a lot of online programs, things I refer to in the marketing space, to direct your business. Someone like Melissa could even point you to other resources because there's other tasks. And this is why when I first started marketing 5-6 years ago, it was like, why is Instagram so powerful? It's just pictures. If we're old school, like, who cares about pictures, right? It's so important, because we're all visual people. But guess what? That's a whole career path. Marketing is a whole career path. And so I've studied marketing, said, what? I don't want to do marketing because I understand it from my business, but that is not the core of what I do. And every one of us need to look at deep when you start in a business yourself, and even me as a person who wrote a book called, in one of the chapters, Purpose. What is it that I'm grateful for? One of the powerful book I could leave with this is 10,000 hours or 10 years. One of the most powerful phrases that could be said. And if you understand what you've been doing, I don't know how to do nothing. You think you're stupid? Well, guess what? There's stupid people doing funny things that's on Jay Leno back in the day, making things voices with the mouth, done whatever nonsense with the eyes or the mouth, and it's a talent. But like I said, they on television. What is your butt doing? So use your God-given purpose, and the best way to know that is understand the philosophy of 10,000 hours of doing the same thing repeatedly over and over again. Means that you're an expert. not an amateur, you are expert. Don't let a degree or piece of paper tell you that you're expert or not an expert. Let your God-given abilities and skills teach you and make you believe that you're an expert in something great. Or spend 10,000 or of doing the same thing, because it's the mother of all learning is repetition, folks.
Repetition is the key. I know I've gotten a lot better doing this show because of repetition.
Yeah.
In a year, the first time, oh my gosh, the first time I was like sweating. Now it's like I'm not sweating anymore.
There you
It
go.
was so stressful because I was like, are these people coming? Are they coming? And I was so excited when I saw someone requesting to join the room, and I was like, admitted. It was amazing. So Curtis, I know you said let's have this longer. Why?
Why? Because you want to be able to no, because I'm ready, because you want to be able to put some layers on these things. We were coming in with like little headlines, bullet points, the movie coming attraction trailers, and I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. All right, I want to hear more about what Saskia has to say. Melissa, I need you to put some meat on the bone. And so it's tough. Sorry. So it's tough to be able to do that when we're just, because we want to be respectful and give everybody a chance to shine or what have you. Well, you want to put some layers on this. I mean, why did Melissa's parents talk about savings the way they did? My mother's in her 70s, so that's a different generation. 1971 up until about 72, 73, that might have been the great thing to do, because money wasn't debt at that point. It had a value because of the attachment to gold. So you could save. Why? They were giving you 10%. That's huge. They're giving you 10% on your money. Now you're lucky if you can find some places where they'll give you 1%. And some countries, they give you none, and they're still taxing you on it. Why do they tell you? You have to question these things. Why are they telling me I should save? You know why? Because they want my money in the bank, because they can lend that out 10 times. If you know about fractional, reserve lending and things of that nature that I won't get into on this topic, but, that's what our master class is for. So you can really understand, they really want you. You just look right now, go online, people that are listening, and see what, these banks are willing to offer you. They're giving you $200, $300, $400 to bring your money here. Why? Because for every dollar that you have in the bank, they can lend that out 9 and 10 times. I wish you could pay your light bill and your cable bill and your cell phone with that same dollar 3, 4, 5 times. I wish you try that. But they can lend your money out 9, 10 times. So saving, unfortunately, is for losers. Not loser like you're a bad person, loser like you're going to lose out, because your money's like an ice cube melting. So you need to have just enough money in there to do your day-to-day living. Everything else should be into an asset, something that retains value, something that brings money in. I'm not scared of debt. Debt is not bad. Debt is cool, because I use debt for a money making or cash flow producing entities, like a house that's going to have the second floor rented out, or like in my case, digital gold, things of that nature, something that produces money. That's how I'm beating inflation. My returns on my investment beat everything on that list that showed up there today. So I felt great when I saw that, but I also felt horrible because most of the people that I know and love did not even beat the lowest one on the totem pole at 3.5. My return on investment beat the 49.8, which was the highest one. But that's only me. I'm not here just for myself, to Dimitri's point. I'm here for everybody. So everyone has to be able to do that. That's why the fight continues.
Yeah, definitely. And, fear will keep folks from acting, from taking actions, right? And we talked about confidence on the show, because once you've learned and you have acquired enough knowledge, you can be confident enough to start taking actions, right? So you said something earlier, Saskia, about it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. Yeah. Now, of course, you're not saying keeping under your mattress. Talking about keeping and having it invested.
Yes, absolutely.
Because folks are so afraid, going back to the fear, they're so afraid, they think, oh, let me keep it under my mattress. They're afraid of life. Let me not love. They're afraid of this. Let me not take action. Everything about fear will keep you paralyzed. Yeah. You have to take risks. Yes, you will lose some and you'll win some, but you have to keep going, because at the end of the day, you keep it under your mattress, what happens?
You might lose them, you never know. But my journey started differently, because I have a banking background. So when I was living in Haiti, so I worked for almost 10, 11 years in a local bank, and then joining some financial institutions. So now coming here, it's like the culture is different. I didn't know about credit. I didn't know about, so everything that you need is to take a loan. And then, so my first loan, I would say, my first loan for my husband and I, it was for a car, but we wasn't shopping really for a car, just looking and say, oh, I can, how things work. And then just, we end up signing papers for a car. And then, anything, so you get the first loan, you get the second one. And then I realized that I cannot live like that. So we cannot live like that because we are new here and everything is like we paid higher at a different price based because they always tell you you don't have any history, any credit history, any driving records. So everything it was really higher. So and then I was like, sitting and I told my husband, we cannot live like that. So every time we get paid, it's only for the bills, it's only for the payment. So we need to find a better way. And then I'm someone who always like looking for knowledge. I was browsing the internet, and I end up listening, to Dave Wednesday. Okay, so sorry if I say the name in the show, but just to tell you. So I end up listening and I said, okay, so I can turn my life around. I can really dream about the debt-free life. I can really dream about studying that college fund for my kids. I have three young kids. So I need to know at least in 10 years, I don't have any issue. I don't want them to get that student loan and stay on that 10, 15 years paying them. So that drive my passion to learn more. And I got that certification and I said, okay, so I can say it's hard because we are making a lot of sacrifices, but we are on our debt-free journey. We're on our debt-free journey. So yeah.
Yeah, everything is hard, but you gotta choose your heart. The love and the passion which I have here for finance and the families, because it started with finance and myself too. Saskia, I started in banking when I was like 22 years old. I didn't know anything about banking other than, again, just like Melissa, my mother said, save money. So I was saving. I started with the susu, where you put your money together with a group of people. And one day she came to me and said, you have $2,500. And I was like, whoa, I'm rich. $2,500, right? I took that money and took it to the local bank. At the time, it was like a bank that's no longer around, Bay Bank. And I said, I have this money. And people were looking at me like, where did you find that money? Because I was so young with all that money. But I said, no, my mother helped me save that money. And I was like, okay. I went to the bank. I'm like you. I think who said that? Like they like to learn. I went to the bank, literally, I took every pamphlet, all the pamphlets. I went home and studied every single one of them to find out what those big products were, like savings and student accounts and regular accounts, premier accounts. I wanted to learn about like my money is someplace. I need to know what they're doing with it, right? But of course, I was just learning about bank products. And that really helped me because a couple of years later, I got a job at the bank. I knew more about the bank than most people because I had studied. I had studied everything about the bank. So, but sitting at the bank, right? Saskia, I'm sitting there talking to families and I'm seeing older folks, senior citizens come in. And they're coming for that Social Security on the very first of the month. And I'm saying to them, okay, so is that all you have? Yes, that's Social Security. I call it so because it was never meant to secure you completely. It was supposed to be part of your income, your stream of income when you retired, right? But unfortunately for many, because they had not taken the time to learn how to save or invest and plan properly, they didn't have, or even family leaving a legacy to help them retire completely. All that they were not experiencing the benefit of financial planning. So that's why I decided, let me go back to school and learn how to become a financial planner, a financial advisor, so I could help families. So I know the passion that you have, Frederick, is to help someone who's watching right now, who's saying, how do I get it done? Call someone to get help. Coaching matters. Get the help that you need because you do not want to wake up when it's time for you to retire and not know that you have not invested and knowing that you have not invested in your retirement at work when you had that opportunity to invest, to contribute to a 401k or 403b. So many folks are not doing that, or even setting up your own account. So there's not a topic here we haven't discussed, right? on the show. So we are asking all of you to take action and really get going. Work on your plan. Anything else? I know I go ahead, Curtis.
You're not gonna get away with it. I heard you earlier say you have to choose your heart. Don't think you're gonna be dropping gems like that and I'm gonna slide by it, because you either gonna choose your heart. You know, it's either now you're gonna pay dues or you're gonna pay the consequences later. So
Right.
that's it. You choose. That's it.
Your heart.
On top of that, another gem, because in the beginning, Melissa said something very powerful, because I'm in the marketing space. And I can't tell you how important, because she said it was like, because we know our stuff, but the data analytics. I wrote a show because I do a business trends every year. I've been doing since 2019, realizing trends for business that people need to kind of pay attention to. And looking how today everything is about data. I'm in a new cryptocurrency program right now for Internet of Things. And the analytics of what's coming about the next couple of years, it's already here, but just getting it to be pushed out. It's all about data analytics. Right here, I just got a new device that's looking at the carbon monoxide in my office space. And I didn't realize I had a carbon monoxide in my office space until the data is telling me, I'm somewhere, it's telling me, hey, you're clear, it tells me how to improve. And that's just data. And data is so important to your business. And one of the other things she said too is that even myself years ago, when I started looking at analytics and watching some YouTube videos, man, you think you're living your business for yourself, your home-based business. I like to make fun of in my videos, but you have someone in Canada, Africa, or other country. The internet is widespread. So, I'm just doing my business for my people, myself. No, your business is global. When you go, and that's the future we are. We are a 24-hour-a-day business. Like I was, Curtis and I have done a lot of talks about cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency doesn't sleep. The stock market sleeps at 9 to 5 and holidays. The cryptocurrency world is 24/7, and you could even watch the fluctuation based on the time zone. I was just telling one of my clients that when, you could tell when a new time zone opened in another country, because 11 o'clock, 1:30, or what have you, boom, you see the fluctuation in the markets. And that's the 21st century we're living in. So data analytics is so important to know, where is your business coming from? It's so important to know that, folks. So she made a great point. I want to re-emphasize what she said, because people miss that. And I missed it one time myself too.
Well, that's why I'm friends with Melissa now, because I want to analyze my data.
Yes.
Because, again, we talked about, one of the things that I said earlier was like insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results, right? So I don't want to keep doing the same thing. I don't want to be on the air here trying to reach out to people who are not maybe available for this information or not willing to get it. There are people out there. This world has how many billions? Like 10 billions? And social media has access to many of them. So what we want to do is find a way to tap into the resources and the opportunities that are here. And yeah, do what we need to do, right, Melissa?
Yes. And then the biggest thing that can help you to kind of make your life a little bit easier is automations. That's in your finances, however you decide to divvy up your savings. That's if we have so many email accounts and different accounts, and there's a lot of passwords, you may be overwhelmed. Even if you're not tech savvy, there's platforms to help you sign in one time into something, and then they just manage that piece. You can just use it from your phone or your computer. So even though you see that there's a lot, or it might feel overwhelmed, find things to automate everything else, that as much as you can to make your life easier. And then scheduling, planning. One thing that I learned this year is using a schedule. Schedule the things that you want to do in your day, in your life, and kind of do your best to stick to it. It's not always the case, but you can get lost in the sauce if you kind of allow distractions to get in between the things that you have scheduled for your day that you want to do. That's something that took me a while to get to. I'm still working through it. But that's something that can help you to be successful in achieving the goals that you have for yourself. And don't feel overwhelmed. I know that technology can be overwhelming for a lot of people. And if you don't tap into your resources like everyone is doing here, but there are ways to simplify your life in general. And that's probably my last nugget.
Yeah, make it, and you just mentioned about, focusing on your goals and focusing on what you're trying to do. Because again, you might have it written down and really have planned to execute, and all of a sudden all these other external drivers are coming, pulling from you. It could be just a day. Today I had planned, I already had my day planned out, and someone is calling me saying, like, my emergency is more important than your day. No, my day is more important than your emergency, because your emergency is an emergency because you did not plan properly. So just because someone is not planning, do not financially for themselves, and then all of a sudden they're constantly asking you to, dip into your retirement planning or your savings to help them out because they refuse to sit down with a coach and create a plan for themselves, or someone is emotionally taxing you.
Yep.
So many different ways. When you've built the confidence and knowing what you want, you can stick to it and execute and be able to achieve your goals, right?
Gabrielle,
Curtis?
And I want to add,
I learned it this way. Lack of preparation on your behalf does not constitute an emergency on my behalf. So you had all your
yes, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Lack of preparation on your end does not constitute an emergency on my end, because now you want me to drop everything when we were just dropping all these bars for the last 45 minutes. And then someone's still going to come up to you and be like, Melissa, man, let me just hold something. Let me hold $50. It's like, nah, she gave you $1 million last week. You left.
I'll add to that.
And
too.
one thing I want to add, go ahead, Frederick.
I'll be quick. So personally, I have a good friend of mine from college, and we lost touch, we catch up, and one day he told me that this is before even COVID, how he out of college got a house, this and that, got a good paying job, and this and that. And years later, what happened? He lost his house, he had a condo in Randolph, and also because why? He was too busy helping his mother, who was struggling financially, this and that. And so he's too busy helping her financially, and he ended up losing his house. And they both end up losing their house that they had for many years. And I'm like, are you serious? Renting out way out of time. I'm like, are you serious? You work hard. He should have been almost paid off that condo. And again, and today I even have a selfish mentality to say, but it's about home first, family first. Our family, our agenda is first. Instead of, there's a lot, things pulling at you financially, it's not, but can you take care of yourself first? Mr. Curtis and I know very well that, one of the philosophies that we talked about earlier, the selling ship. If a ship is sinking, how can I call SOS when my ship is sinking? So take care of home first. Take care of your priorities first, your family's needs first, and set, financial shelter so that you are prepared. Because folks, I don't care what you think about COVID, this ain't over. We're just getting started. The 21st century, what's getting ready to happen to automation, it's getting started. So don't sleep on it and thinking that you're going to be all right. Oh, I'm going back to work. I have a steady job. And I'm talking about even for the small business owners who think that, oh, my business is reopening. No, your business is just getting ready to shut down if you didn't do anything in the 21st century to automate your business. Very key point right there. I'll end with that.
Automation, Melissa mentioned it. And Saskia?
Yes, I want to add that I recently learned, maybe a week ago, that you are the average of 5 people that you hang with. And then that really hit my mind, like, so it's not only about business, but it's about personal choices that you are making, So if you are in I would say, environment where there's no fulfillment, nobody, has great aspiration, So sometimes I heard that, things have been doing this way for so long. So if there's a way to change it, if there's a way to dream for a better life or better opportunity. So I guess like every day, every time you need to analyze, your life, your visions. Where do you want to be in a year, in 12, in 10 months, so in 5 years? So what is your vision? It's not only about your business, but also because when you grow personally, so you are, I would say, at a better place where you can thrive with your business as well.
Yes, we did a show called Change Matters. Change your way of life, change your environment, change a paradigm shift, change your circle, because your network is your net worth. Basically, that's what it is. So thank you so much. It's been an hour, Curtis. Are you satisfied? It's been an hour. We could go on and on and on because, again, the passion for it. But we just want to say we started with a dream, we acted with a plan, and we put some actions behind it. Everything in life is hard, will require sacrifices and hard work. Nothing is going to be easy, but with the help of really great friends and encouragement and support, there's nothing you cannot do. Go get it. I am so grateful for our current supporters and those who will be coming. I'm always open to have new friends. So if you are watching the show and you're like, I could be part of this platform, I have something to share, please come and join us because we need you. There's plenty of room in this environment here for you, for me, and for each one of us here. So we want to share relevant and timely topics. We're going to be starting next week with something new. Stay tuned. Thank you again, my friends, for being here. Thank you again. Thank you to all of you for watching. Please like, share, and make a comment. God bless you all.